Happy Saturday. My name is Stacie-Lianne. I love makeup and I'm a huge horror fan. So if that sounds like you, let's hang out. This week I am going to be talking about Stranger Things and the inspiration behind it. It's such an iconic series and the highly anticipated season 5 is nearly here. This week I wanted to go in with Cosmic Beauty's Smolder palette because it's absolutely stunning. Just look at those shades. Gorgeous. I am feeling really sick, so you will have to bear with me. What else do I normally say? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, I am in my baggy t-shirt, comfy clothes era, and this top, you see it, says Saint of the Damned, Blessed Are the Broken, and this is from a company called Elysian Wardrobe, and they're such good quality and they're so baggy and it's just so cute, and they have so many different designs. I will link them down below. So cute. Anyway, let's get into it. If you don't know, Stranger Things is set in 1980s Indiana in the small town of Hawkins. It received overwhelming praise, specifically for its homages to 1980s genre film and inspired by the works of Steven Spielberg and Wes Craven, Stephen King, George Lucas, just to name a few. They also took inspiration from experiments conducted during the Cold War and conspiracy theories involving government programs and real-life experiments like Project Montauk and MK Ultra. Do you know what was really freaky whilst I was researching this, right? You know, after like a few minutes your phone will turn off, like the screen will go black if you don't touch it. Well, whilst I was specifically looking at the Montauk project, my phone was on the whole time. I didn't touch it, it was on the whole time. Conspiracy? I don't know, but that is freaky. The Montauk project is a conspiracy theory. It alleges that there were a series of United States government projects conducted at Camp Hero or Montauk Air Force Station for the purpose of developing psychological warfare techniques, time travel and recovered memories, psychic powers, kids being kidnapped and sent through portals into other dimensions, conjuring monsters. The character 11 specifically draws inspiration from the alien in E.T. After being found by the boys, she is hidden in Mike's basement to avoid detection from the evil government agency that's after her. There are more nods to the film, like the very first episode, the boys are playing D&D in the movie. Also shots of the boys riding their bikes through the woods. Stephen King's 1980s book Firestarter was also a huge inspiration for Stranger Things. The tale of a young girl with powerful pyrotechnic powers being used by a shadowy government agency that's looking to weaponize her superhuman abilities. Stephen King's novella The Body was published in 1982 before being made into a film adaptation called Stand By Me in 1986. The story is about 4 childhood friends who embark on a quest to find the body of a dead boy, which is similar to the quest of boys when Will went missing. Stranger Things plot concerns a mother who learns to communicate with her missing son in a really unconventional paranormal way. Stranger Things plot concerns a mother who learns to communicate with her missing son in a very unconventional paranormal fashion, which is really similar to Poltergeist. Ghosts communicate via television static with the young daughter. Another interesting homage was Jaws. Hawkins police chief Hopper, played by David Arbor, who was a former big city cop who has taken a job out in the sticks. The truck he drives around even resembles the one Chief Brody drove in Jaws. Maybe it's a bit of a reach, maybe it's not. The exterior shots of Joyce Byers' home that are obvious references to the super creepy cabin in Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead, and Jonathan even has an Evil Dead poster. There is a shop on Instagram and they have like a replica of the chainsaw. It's cool as shit. It looks so good in my front room. It's awesome. I don't make any money of it, but I will link it down below because I believe they've got a competition going right now. It's really cool. So obviously a large part of the plot does revolve around Elle, and as the story develops, she is caused to psychically enter a world occupied by a monster. I'm just going to do my weeing off camera because I need to concentrate on this bit. I'll be back. She has to rely on people from the outside to bring her back to reality in time. This does mirror the plot of 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, where Freddy Krueger kills teenagers in their dreams and only waking them in time will save them. It's another subtle detail that helps craft the world of Stranger Things. And lastly, obviously, the biggest inspiration is the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I've never been really big into Dungeons and Dragons, but I did say to my partner we should, on one of our family game nights, we should start a campaign. I think it would be fun. But I am quite into Warhammer. I'm currently building the Battle Sisters, the Adepta Sororitas, and I absolutely love it. You can see them just here. And my collection is growing. I think it's so much fun. Which, if you don't know, is a fantasy tabletop role-playing game. It was popular with Mike, Will, Dustin and Lucas, who played in the 1983 expert edition of the game in Mike's basement. They use the game's elements and monsters to describe and explain the otherwise unknown forces that plagued Hawkins. The Four called their group the Party, and the party ran a 10-hour campaign with Mike acting as Dungeon Master, summoning an arm of troglodytes before continuing to summon the Demogorgon. Will was urged by Lucas to fireball and attack it, whilst Dustin advised to cast a protection spell. Will attempted to fireball it, but he only rolled a 7 when he needed a 13 or higher. This meant that Will's character was defeated by the Demogorgon, and this was the same night Will was abducted by the actual Demogorgon. Later, 11 flips the board upside down to explain that Will was trapped in an alternate dimension, which they later dubbed the Upside Down. Dustin compared the Upside Down to the Veil of Shadows, a dimension that is the dark reflection or echo of our world. In the second season, Dustin used the concept of the Mind Flayer to describe the shadowy entity from the Upside Down. Although Will was safely home, he was still connected to the Upside Down. The Mind Flayer from D&D, also known as lithids, are known for their psionic abilities and for eating brains. They are often found in the Underdark and feared for their psionic powers and their ability to dominate other characters. The Mind Flayer in Stranger Things exercised the control over the Upside Down via a psychic link with demogorgons, demodogs, and vines, forming a shared hive mind. That did include Will. The group fought back the Mind Flayer, saved Will, and 11 closes the Mother Gate, killing the Mind Flayer, or so they thought. A piece of the Mind Flayer that was expelled from Will remained dormant until a new gate was opened in the Russian secret lab, which reawakened its dormant piece. Mind Flayer's primary food source is brains, which they consume to enhance their psionic abilities and for the experience of consuming memories and personalities. The Mind Flayer in Stranger Things began possessing people, creating the Flayed, who were used to build a physical manifestation of the Mind Flayer, Billy Hargrove being one of the Flayed, who played a key role in luring others to be possessed. The group again pushed back and closed the new gate, but not without casualties. Thought to be dead, Hopper is captured and ends up in a Russian prison. We then move on to season 4. The Hellfire Club's Dungeon Master, Eddie Munson, one of my favourite characters, pitted Hellfire members against Lord Vecna and his acolytes in their campaign, The Cult of Vecna. The first group encountered the acolytes at the Mac Bar before encountering Vecna, who was apparently killed by Cass. However, Eddie later revealed the disfigured and desiccated Lord was still alive and hidden among his hooded cultists. Despite the group being thrown into a panic, Erica got lucky with her die throws with her player character Lady Applejack. I love My Little Pony too. Defeating Vecna for good. Shortly after, there is a string of horrific murders were committed around Hawkins by an unknown person. Dustin and his friends, inspired by Eddie's campaign, dubbed the murderer Vecna. So Lord Vecna, one of the greatest villains in the D&D universe, known for his magical prowess and ascending to godhood. In Stranger Things, Vecna is human, who gains psychic powers and becomes a powerful humanoid creature aligned with the Upside Down. While both are powerful antagonists, the D&D Vecna is a more established godlike figure, while the Stranger Things version is a more recent human-turned monster with a connection to the Upside Down. Essentially, the Stranger Things version is a nod to the D&D character, but with a unique backstory and powers tailored to the show's narrative. D&D's Vecna story is one of ambition and magical study, while Stranger Things' Vecna story is one of trauma, experimentation, and the influence of the Upside Down. So Vecna, or Henry Creel, is the main antagonist from the 4th season, and portrayed by Jamie Campbell Bower. While Henry's powers seem to be natural and developing around puberty, there is an interesting parallel between Henry Creel and the mutants in the Marvel X-Men comics, where an X gene activates at puberty. Whatever the origins of Henry Creel's powers may be, he certainly shares the common character flaws of psychics in those comics as well, because telepaths tend to have something of a god complex. I love these smushy bombs. I can't wait for season 5. I feel like someone has to die to like break the connection to the Upside Down, which seems really sad because it's either Eleven or Will. I like both of those characters. But the wait is nearly over. Who is your favourite character? I absolutely love Dustin and Steve. I think them together is like, they have such good chemistry, and I just think they're really fun to watch. They really do just like bounce off each other. But anyway, that is the inspiration behind Stranger Things. If you stuck with me this far, I appreciate you. Hopefully I'll be feeling better next week. I am so ready just to take all of this off, shove my hair up in a bun and crawl into bed. But I will see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and that's it.